Welcome to another edition of Smart Chat here on YouTube.com. I do want to give you some of my Smackdown Live draft thoughts, analysis. You had the draft between who would be on Raw and who would be on SmackDown. Let's start with SmackDown. The roster for SmackDown: Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles. These are some of the main guys: John Cena, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Becky Lynch, The Miz with Maurice, Baron Corbin, American Alpha tag team from NXT, Dolph Ziggler, Natalia, Alberto Del Rio, who was split from Paige, and we kind of seen that coming. WWE likes to, once they know you're all lovey-dovey with someone on the roster, they like to keep you separated. Usos, Kane, Kalisto, Naomi. I'm surprised that Kalisto is on SmackDown, being that the Cruiserweight division is on Raw. I thought for sure Kalisto would be on SmackDown. Maybe it looks like Kalisto will just be a jobber to the stars on SmackDown. You have Naomi, you have the Ascension, Zack Ryder, Apollo Crews, Alexa Bliss, Breezango, Eva Marie, Vaudevillains, Eric Rowan, Mojo Rawley, Carmella. Carmella again split up from Big Cass and Enzo Amore. The rumor is that Carmella is going out with Big Cass. So there you go. The WWE likes to take the couples and keep them separated. And man, just some of my thoughts here. You really can't do better, much better, with American Alpha. To me, if you remember the tag team back in the day from WCW, High Voltage, they kind of remind me of High Voltage, like this type of energy. Mojo Rawley got drafted to SmackDown. It's really his chance now to sink or swim. He's been down. He's been in that division in NXT for a very long time. When you look at SmackDown, as well, the women's division right there, you have a bunch of women's wrestlers. Now the question I ask is, there is no title to fight for the women down there in SmackDown. Charlotte is on Raw. So now leaves the question, what are the women on SmackDown fighting for at the end of the day? Will there be a new title introduced for the women down there at SmackDown? Will we see the coming back of the Divas, quote-unquote, title? Will be interesting to see. Some feuds that you could see there, AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler feud I would be looking forward to. These guys could work. With Dolph Ziggler, he could put over anyone. So it will give AJ a lot of opportunity to showcase his talent. Not that he hasn't, but that feud, those two wrestlers are really working at the same speed. A lot of the time, AJ Styles had to work at the speed of an opponent, which seems to be a little bit lesser than what he is. So they have the same work rate, and I think that's a good feud to look at. Biggest surprise there, I thought that Bayley would be drafted. But people like Nia Jax, Carmella, Alexa Bliss got the call up before her. Bayley, when you thought of Bayley, you thought that she would be up with up on the main roster at the same time, more or less, when Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch were called up. And now it just seems to be long past overdue. What baffles me with this, if you notice, as far as the SmackDown there roster, there's really, Braun Strowman is not with them, with Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt. He's on Raw. Really no good reason to separate Braun Strowman from the Wyatt family right now. I think Braun Strowman still, And I think he still needs the Wyatt family at this point. Raw, as far as SmackDown too, it's built on the foundation of guys like Dean Ambrose, John Cena, Bray Wyatt. But this show, SmackDown, was supposed to be giving people a chance that haven't had the chance. All of these guys seem to have had a chance before. Majority of them. I don't know. I don't know how that really makes sense to me. Raw, as far as Raw, they got Seth Rollins, Charlotte, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. With Brock Lesnar, I mean, geez, I've said this before. You're at a point now where he got suspended by the USADA and UFC for anti-doping violations. Still, unless I'm mistaken, Brock Lesnar has not been suspended by the WWE. You have to make it known public, I think, what Brock Lesnar got suspended for by UFC. You have to do something or suspend him, because it seems that not everyone gets the same treatment. Why were people like Adam Rose suspended when it seems like he was using medication for attention deficit disorder? So it wasn't like a recreational drug. What did Brock Lesnar do? They have to make a move. But at this point, I don't think they will, because SummerSlam is right around the corner, and it will go over the 30-day mark. You have Chris Jericho, Rusev, Kevin Owens, Enzo and Big Cass, Gallows and Anderson, Big Show, Nia Jax, Neville, Cesaro, Sheamus, Golden Truth, Titus O'Neil, Paige, Darren Young, Sin Cara, Jack Swagger, Dudley Boyz, Summer Rae, Mark Henry, Braun Strowman, Bo Dallas, Shining Stars, Alicia Fox, Dana Brooke, Curtis Axel. So they are keeping together. It seems like Charlotte and Dana Brooke's together. They're trying to work around this and trying to make it work. I've been critical about the combination of Charlotte and Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke is still missing something, but it seems like they're wanting to make this work. Raw, has one of the two best tag teams, the New Day, Enzo, Amore, and Big Cass. You have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, two of the biggest rivalries right now for the Intercontinental Championship. Raw will also be home to two of probably the two best women athletes out there right now, with shoulders above everyone in the company, in Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Raw also picked up a highly prospect. They tout him to be the future in Finn Balor. Seems like he's ready to main event, but it also has an opportunity with Finn Balor there to reunite with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and reunite the Bullet Club back in those days of Japan. So it's always possibilities. A lot of ways that you could go. With Raw, looking at it, I think Raw has the best roster. It's stacked, and that might be because it's 3 hours. It's naturally a longer show. But if I were to give a summary on this, I think that Raw definitely, again, just came out with a stacked roster. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest, because I feel that some of the guys drafted won't get their chance to shine, and it still makes SmackDown feel as the B show. What I was saying earlier, the established stars, the guys that deserve or given the most TV time are all on SmackDown. It's not what Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon were saying, it doesn't seem to be advertised. Rusev, KO, Cesaro, all stars that seem to be main event material being used as B-plus talent. True fans will get that B-plus talent aspect. You know, looking at it, I'm glad Bray Wyatt, got drafted to Smackdown. And finally hope that he gets pushed like he deserves. But again, I feel him losing his cult weakens his character a bit. I'm hoping that trades, take place to make the shows more equal in terms of talent. Plus, I don't want to see Cena versus Orton chapter gazillion anymore. One question, that I look at this too. Two questions, actually. Is, where's The Undertaker? Why hasn't he been drafted? As far as I remember, he never retired. What happens if he comes back for a big match come SummerSlam or WrestleMania season? The other thing, too, is the WWE brand, as far as Raw. Now that it's split, is the WWE also going to have its own heavyweight champion? Its champion of its own, like it did before? Because that hasn't been made clear yet. Is Dean Ambrose a star going between shows? My gut instinct tells me no. So I feel that maybe you will see a new title on the WWE, new heavyweight title for Raw, and you will see a women's title for SmackDown. So this is a new chapter, a new era. I was for this brand split before. Let's see how it all works out. I know we complain, but at the end of the day, we're all still wrestling fans. I hope all is well.